The person could not spell it all. So they were probably like Asian. That's not how. Wow.
Welcome to Discrimination, Retaliation, Fraud, and Racketeering, Episode 8. Today's date is 2/21/2022, and the main topic today is going to be illegal termination at Bright Now Dental and the racist manager, Lori Dowling. On the last episode, I was getting into the approximate timeline and the blackmail and fraud, and so today we're just going to go ahead and get started with an approximate timeline on blackmail and fraud. The Washington Department of Health and Labor and Industries illegally gave up my whistleblower protection confidentiality without my consent for reporting the doctors for fraud and illegal activity. Approximate timeline focused on criminals that engaged in blackmail and fraud. Sherry Padruzny set me up with a false class schedule in the past, then changed the program so the biology of cells class was not going to count as a prerequisite to meet the science requirements, so I would not get accepted in the Associates of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree program. The two Yakima Valley wrestling coaches, college coaches, and I filed a discrimination complaint back then. 2009 to 2011. I finally got accepted in the Associates of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree program. I almost never had a single day where some game or type of abuse wasn't inflicted upon me. My junior year in the program, I witnessed them fail the only other male student in the program when he was a straight A student and was doing excellent work. 2011, I received my Associates of Applied Science in Dental Hygiene degree from Yakima Valley College. I was licensed in Oregon State and working as a dental hygienist in 2012. See letters of recommendation. In 2013, I was licensed in both Oregon and Washington State and went to work in Olympia, Washington as a dental hygienist for Bright Now Dental. See letter of recommendation from my assistant. I worked at Bright Now Dental for approximately 13 months. After approximately 5 months of working at Bright Now Dental, I received a $5 an hour pay increase because of my excellent performance. The doctors at Bright Now Dental were directing me to work on medically compromised patients where patient safety was a concern. So I brought these patient safety concerns up to the company and I was illegally terminated. Bright Now Dental manager Lori Dowling, district manager Lindsay English were all involved in stealing approximately $1,500 of my paid time off, and I think it could have been as high as $3,000. I received unemployment through Bright Now Dental because they illegally terminated me for bringing up patient safety concerns. The Department of Health and Labor and Industries covered up the crimes. Racist Bright Now Dental manager Lori Dowling believes that Asians cannot spell at all and implies that they are stupid right at the Bright Now Dental office around many of the employees. Bright Now Dental would rather keep on criminal racist managers such as Lori Dowling that are involved in stealing the dental hygienist approximately $1,500 in paid time off. And like I said, it could be as high as $3,000. More on Bright Now Dental may be coming soon. 2015, I went to work at Perry Family Dental with Dr. Blake Perry in Mount Vernon, Washington. The manager, Andrea Barbano, and Dr. Blake Perry illegally changed my chart notes and were doing insurance fraud under my name. Dr. Blake Perry got caught lying under oath and was using illegal software with Judge Jan Barnett. I worked there approximately 13 months and Dr. Perry stole approximately $2,300 in PTO, but then paid it once I exposed him to Judge Jan Barnett. Dr. Perry received approximately 9 violations from Labor and Industries after I had to resubmit the complaint that East Wenatchee Labor and Industries tried to hide. See previous videos for more relating to Dr. Perry. More may be coming soon. 2017, Wenatchee Valley College Business Management Program. More may be coming soon. 2017, Dr. Charles Morgan from Ocean Shores Dental in Ocean Shores, Washington wanted me to follow an illegal orders by doing adult prophy on every patient when he wrote up an illegal protocol, so he did not have to sign the charts before I performed the treatment that Dr. Morgan was ordering me to do. Dr. Morgan received approximately 6 violations from Labor and Industries. Labor and Industries did an insufficient investigation by not getting all the documentation on the spore testing. Well, not getting any documentation on the spore testing. See previous videos for more relating to Dr. Morgan. More may be coming soon. 2017 to 2018. I got accepted in the Bachelor's of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree program at Yakima Valley College. Sherry Pedrusny, the Dental Hygiene Program Coordinator and Teacher, accepted Wenatchee Valley College English 203 Research classes, the last coursework I needed to complete. Sherry Pedrusny put an order for Wenatchee Valley College English 203 Research teacher Leslie Lampkin to engage in fraud by illegally removing, not installing, and misrepresenting my syllabus assignment requirements in the Wenatchee Valley College Canvas computer system. Leslie Lampkin also works at Mansfield School District, Washington State. Public record evidence shows many of the Mansfield school children, students, are failing and have missing assignments. I have missing assignments because Leslie Lampkin engaged in fraud, so the children at Mansfield are probably being cheated too. The Wenatchee College, Yakima College, Washington State Board for Community and Technical Colleges, Attorney General, Office for Civil Rights, Special Agent McKay, Federal Courts, Health Department, Labor and Industries, etc. are all involved in covering up discrimination, retaliation, fraud, racketeering, and the government criminals weaponized all the agencies against the people that report criminal activity. 2019, Seattle, Washington attorney David O. and David O. defense firm stole $10,000 cash paid in full from me by abandoning me and breaking our contract in my federal court lawsuit because David O. was threatened and or bribed. 2022, currently, I do not have my Bachelor's of Applied Science degree that I earned. See all previous videos and more to come. So it's 2/21/2022, and I still do not have my Bachelor's of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree that I earned. So let's go ahead and show you some of these criminals and explain their positions and where they're working and things like that. So let's go ahead, get started. Okay, this is Sherry Pedrusny, the Yakima Valley College Program Coordinator and Teacher that put in the order for Leslie Lampkin to engage in fraud and steal out my assignment requirements. Here's Lindsay English at Bright Now Dental, who was involved in the illegal termination because I brought up patient safety concerns. Here is the racist criminal Lori Dowling at Bright Now Dental, Olympia, Washington, that was also involved in illegal termination because I brought up patient safety concerns. Here's Andrea Barbano at Dr. Blake Perry's office that was involved in insurance fraud and changing my chart notes with illegal software. Here's Jennifer Elliott, the one that works at Dr. Blake Perry's office. Andrea Barbano was teaching her how to illegally change my chart notes and use illegal software. That's just another picture of Sherry Pedrusny, the criminal at Yakima Valley College. The one that, and here's Regan Bellamy, the HR director at Wenatchee Valley College. She doesn't think that fraud is of discriminatory or harassing nature, and here's Chio Flores. She doesn't have the expertise to read a syllabus and assignment report card and see if they match. See other videos. Here's President Jim Richardson, who was involved in this scandal, them stealing out my assignment requirements. He's also involved in where they could have stole possibly millions from taxpayers. Joyce Hammer, the Director of Transfer Education at the Washington State Board of Community and Technical Colleges, was involved in covering up all the crimes. Here's Carly Schiffner. She was the Vice President at Wenatchee College, and she went up to help cover up the crimes at the State Board, Washington State Board for Community and Technical Colleges when I reported the fraud. Salvador Mendoza Jr., he's the corrupt bias judge at the Washington Federal Court in the Eastern District of Washington. He's covering up all the crimes. There's another picture of Carly Schiffner, one of the criminals. Here is Joyce Hammer, just another picture of her, criminal. There is Leslie Lampkin, the one that engaged in fraud that Sherry Pedrusny ordered to steal out my assignment requirements. He also stealing from the children at Mansfield School District. Here's Chio Flores, who doesn't have the expertise to read a syllabus and assignment report card and see if they match. Here's Dr. Blake Perry, who was using illegal software, and he was doing insurance fraud under my name. He got caught lying under oath. Then he had approximately 9 violations from Labor and Industries. Here's William Pickett, who deleted my posts on Facebook because he's involved in covering up the crime at the Washington State Bar Association. There's another picture of criminal Blake Perry. Here's Dr. Joey Walter at Wenatchee Valley College, who's the dean who was involved in covering up the crimes. Here is Dr. Lori Keller, who was involved in covering up the crime. She ran up to some other place, or she played musical chairs because she knew she was in trouble. Let's go ahead and take another look at Lori Keller, who was the musical chairs. She didn't and she was trying to hide all the fraud that Leslie Lampkin engaged in. There's Bob Ferguson, who's providing assistance to the criminals, right there, in the federal court case. There's Dr. Charles Morgan, which was involved in illegal protocols, such as he wanted me to do adult profies on every patient, even if it could harm the patients. Here's Special Agent McKay, who I know wrote up a fraudulent report up in Colorado, Denver. Special Agent McKay wrote up fraudulent reports. Okay, let's see. That will be enough of that. I want to go ahead and show you again the racist criminal Lori Dowling from Bright Now Dental. Let's go ahead and play that again for you.
Right? Click on it. This is on Craigslist. The person could not spell it all. So they were probably like Asian. That's not how. Wow. Right?
So there you go. That's that. Now let's go ahead. Now we're going to do a hearing on Dr. Blake Perry, who was using illegal software, and he got caught by Judge Jan Barnett. Just to show you that illegal software is being used.
I'd just like to say that the office acted correctly, that no illegal activity took place, and that we would never allow illegal activity regardless of what this employee says about us or myself. And thanks very much.
Okay. Dr. Perry, I don't know if you were present when Andrea Barbano was good enough to offer what she had to say, but Are you aware that she did at this one time actually just take out the CH from the treatment notes that Mr. Niemeyer had made on this particular patient? She just took it out?
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but if it were to happen, it would be simply to correct the chart notes so they match the procedure codes, and then the doctor at the end, the supervising dentist, would review those chart notes.
You had testified early on in this hearing that the software that you have actually strikes out any changes that are made to notes. And taking out documentation so that they match the billing records, you would agree that's not the correct way to make corrections, right?
Well, maybe I should say it a different way. If the procedure,
I think you get the picture. There's definitely illegal software going on. These criminals will do anything to cover up the crimes. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how even the Colorado Dental Board's in on it all. They're in on covering up the crime. So I'm going to show you some stuff that was on the last episode just so you have a reminder. You might have to go back, and they're all trying to use willful blindness, act like they don't see all the different crimes because they're all in on it. They're all family, relatives, and friends, and they're all covering up the crimes together. So here's the second page. And they all want to cover it up, and then they want to defame your character when you report any type of fraud, child abuse, anything. They're all criminals working together. And I showed you before how Lauren Hamby was working up in Colorado. She's related most likely to Greg Hamby from the Office for Civil Rights, who I caught backdating letters with criminal intent. Here is Colorado defaming my character and putting that I was disciplined. I was never disciplined by any dental licensing board ever. So it's a complete lie, it's a fraud, and it's blackmail. This is when I turned in Bright Now Dental. This is some proof to show it was turned in. Here. And here is proof that they all write up fraudulent reports. It says there is not enough evidence to prove your employer violated the law. But then it says it is noted your complaint in your complaint form you have concerns regarding your child support and may want to contact support enforcement. Well, that's funny because I've never had a child, and that's a complete fraud and blackmail and fabrication. They're writing up fraudulent reports like I showed you before on Dr. Blake Perry, how they said he didn't violate the law, but he basically lied under oath, got caught using illegal software, illegally changed my chart notes, was doing insurance fraud. I showed you in the last episode about how they were charging out crowns illegally and weren't even performing the treatment. There's all kinds of fraud going on, and the Department of Health is all in on covering it up. Look at this here. They're talking about a complaint, and then they sit there and say things like, let's see, we closed this report without an investigation because there was no violation of the law at the time the event occurred. We take your concern seriously. However, we did not authorize an investigation because the conduct alleged in the report posed minimal risk of harm to public health, safety, or welfare, or because we cannot identify a violation of the law. Wow, they never can identify a violation. It don't matter what you do, and you think they should have investigated it to figure it all out? No, they don't want to. But then look at here. Termination. What rights does a worker have whose job is being terminated? Workers cannot be fired for filing a workplace rights complaint, safety complaint, injured worker claim. I filed a safety complaint, and look at what happened. They illegally terminated me. Now look at here again, how the Oregon Board of Dentistry's all in on it too. They were trying to set me up and blackmail me because they didn't think I had proof of how I had proof that I received a letter with my license that it is postmarked on 11/17/17, and I had proof of it, and they didn't expect me to have proof. Otherwise, they were going to try to blackmail me. These criminals are all working together, and I'm going to go ahead and show you here some pay stubs from Bright Now Dental to prove I worked at Bright Now Dental. This is all proof. It's all evidence here to show you everything. I'm the truth teller, and all these criminals in the health department and people like Special Agent McKay are all writing up fraudulent reports. Here's proof at Perry Family Dental, Dr. Blake Perry's office. I worked there. Here's a couple different pay stubs there. Let's go ahead and zoom in closer. And we'll zoom in. Look at the PTO, how much saved time I got, so you have an idea of what's going on here. Now here's an illegal protocol that Dr. Morgan wrote up, where he wanted me to do adult prophy on all patients. Here's some of the questions that the criminals at OCR don't want to answer. Now here is something interesting. On my pro-liability insurance, there's a Justin Pickett that works there. I wonder if Justin Pickett isn't related to William Pickett at the Washington State Bar Association. So he's sitting there working at your pro-liability insurance for your malpractice place, so if I was to report something, they can sit there and fraud and find out everything I'm doing and reporting to the attorneys. So they're all working on this stuff together. They're all criminals. To show my character, go ahead and look at this. Here, Wenatchee High School, I placed 4th in state. Here, All-American. When I was younger, here, I placed 5th in state as a freshman. I was the first freshman to ever place in state from Aberdeen High School. Still to this day, I bet you I'm the only freshman that's ever placed in state. I've done things no one's ever done. Look at this. Over here in Skagit, the Skagit CrossFit. Look at this, 1st place. Male intermediate 1st place, October 17th, 2015. I've done things that no one else has done. They've lied, fabricated all kinds of lies about me. Here's my Washington State Department of Health dental hygienist license. Let's go through some of this stuff. Oregon dental hygienist license, prove I worked in Oregon here. Colorado dental hygiene license. Let's go ahead and keep going on. More proof, because there's the license. The other one was the local anesthesia permit. Here's David O's contract right here. He stole $10,000 from me in my federal, because he abandoned me in my federal court case because he was threatened and or bribed. Here's proof, more proof he was in the federal court case. It had fraud, racketeering, discrimination, retaliation. He knows all these criminals are guilty. Look at here. Here's proof to prove a letter of recommendation of my skill sets. More proof. When I worked at Creston Children's Clinic and I helped children that couldn't afford dental care for free. Of the goodness of my heart. Look at this. They don't want you seeing this. They don't want you seeing this letter here from Kyle Johnston from Oregon, where he says, I may be the most honest person that he's ever known in his whole life. They don't want you seeing that. They don't want you seeing this letter from this doctor here about how my work's so reliable and efficient. They don't want you seeing this, how I deliver excellent care and people highly recommend me. This is not what they want you to see. They don't want you seeing how I went to work here at Medical Teams International to help homeless people and people that couldn't afford dental care. This is not the stuff they want you to see. They want to try to defame me and lie, put out fraud, and I'm not going to let them keep doing it. Got to go through these quick. You're going to have to probably look at another episode to get all the information. This one's important, though. This one relates to Bright Now. To whom it may concern, it is my great pleasure to know and to have worked alongside David Niemeyer, and I am saddened to learn of his recent termination from Bright Now Dental. I worked closely with David for upward of 8 months as his assistant at Bright Now Dental. For the entirety of my time working with David at the office, I have known him to be professional and courteous of all patients and staff. Many of his patients would take the time to personally tell me what a great worker David was and that they appreciated his kindness. No matter the circumstance, David always maintained composure, and even when I would get overwhelmed by the busy schedule, he would help keep me on point, but reminded me to focus on the job at hand. He never seemed to be bothered by anything negative happening in the office. The morale in the office was very low. It played a major role in my decision to leave the company. David was never one to act in a negative manner despite low morale. He always worked hard, especially when he was being made to work a double column hygiene schedule without an assistant, which happened more often than it should have. If for some reason I could not be at work, it was rare to none that the office would provide him with an assistant for double column hygiene. I am also aware that David was being directed to work on medically compromised patients, but I'm not willing to give specifics at this time. Please let me know if you can benefit from any further insight into David's experience and character. Sincerely, Erin Heffernan. And then it puts her email and information there. Sorry, it's hard for me to get it all read because I'm trying to read it through the phone, trying to keep going here. Here's proof I earned my Bachelor's of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree. And Sherry Pedruzny said it was the last coursework I need to complete. BA 256 meets the statistics requirement. You will need to submit the crosswalk petition and pay for BAS 402. 403 and 404 coursework is not required for these courses. 400 level credits are transcribed for BAS 402, 403, and 404 based on the Dental Hygiene National Board scores. Submit your application. Please contact Donna Fulton for more information on the crosswalk petition process. Then they lied, stole out my assignment requirements. Here's an email from Leslie Lampkin where he says, I can assure you nobody's going to dig back in the course assignments. Make sure you complete all the work listed in the syllabus. When the college audits your degree requirements, they will look to make sure you complete and pass all the required courses for your degree. You passed my class and did so with a pretty respectable grade. And so there you go. And he knew Sherry was frauding me. Here is Mansfield School District Public Records, where they're talking about, I saw a bunch of your 7th graders on the DNF list out of your room. Are they missing something or something they need to work on? Luke calls writing to Lampkin. Leslie Lampkin writes, it's a combination of missing assignments and laziness. And Luke Hall says, okay, read them the riot act on both, but really, it's most likely fraud. Lampkin's frauded me, so he's frauding the kids at Mansfield School District, Washington State. Here's proof that Wenatchee Valley College President Jim Richardson was targeted in a whistleblower complaint, and he may have stole possibly millions of dollars. It was filed by concerned citizens of Washington State, and this is all of our taxpayer money they're stealing, and there'll be more coming on that soon, more than likely, real soon. Okay, here's proof the basic life support or CPR from American Heart Association. Here's proof that Facebook was tampering with my evidence. Here's more proof on the kids that are being more than likely cheated up at Mansfield, Washington School District. Got to go through it fast. You're going to have to look at previous episodes like this to get all the information. I just don't have time for it all right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to the video one more time. Here. And let's get started here.
It's that Mr. Niemeyer made it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I want to get a close-up with the criminal racist Lori Dowling here, if I can. Okay, let's see here what this is looking like.
Right? Click on it. This is on Craigslist. The person could not spell it all. So they're probably like Asian. It's just not how. You know what I mean? Wow.
Let's do it again there.
Right? Click on it. This is on Craigslist. The person could not spell it all. So they're probably like Asian. It's just not how. You know what I mean? Wow. Right? Click on it.
Alright. So it's time to go ahead and read it one more time to remind you here about Bright Now Dental, and then we're going to go ahead and close this out. In 2013, I was licensed in both Oregon and Washington State, went to work in Olympia, Washington as a dental hygienist for Bright Now Dental. See letters of recommendation from my assistant. I worked at Bright Now Dental for approximately 13 months. After approximately 5 months of working at Bright Now Dental, I received a $5 an hour pay increase because of my excellent performance. The doctors at Bright Now Dental were directing me to work on medically compromised patients where patient safety was a concern, so I brought these patient safety concerns up to the company and I was illegally terminated. Bright Now Dental Manager Lori Dowling, District Manager Lindsay English were all involved in stealing approximately $1,500 of my paid time off, and like I said, it could be as high as $3,000. I received unemployment through Bright Now Dental because they illegally terminated me for bringing up patient safety concerns. The Department of Health and Labor and Industries covered up the crimes. Racist Bright Now Dental Manager Lori Dowling, which I just showed you the video of, believes that Asians cannot spell at all and implies that they are stupid right at the Bright Now Dental office around many employees. Bright Now Dental would rather keep on criminal racist managers such as Lori Dowling that are involved in stealing the dental hygienist approximately $1,500 in paid time off. Like I said, it could be as high as $3,000. and more on Breakdown Dental may be coming soon. Well, racist Lori Dowling, you opened up a can of worms that's never going to close. The illegal termination, stealing paid time off, all that, being racist and discriminating on Asians and everyone else. It's just, this is the kind of behavior that I'm dealing with, and I'm just trying to expose all this. I think it's all connected to all the other crimes I've been exposing, and they all work together to try to cover up the truth and weaponize the government agencies against the people that are reporting fraud, discrimination, child abuse, all the above. And so if you want to look, keep looking at my Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I have accounts on all those, but they may be hiding all those. So you can go to Rumble and True Socials, where I think we're going to be ending up. So I'll see you on the next episode of Discrimination, Retaliation, Fraud, and Racketeering, Exposing the Truth. Thank you very much.